Welcome back to another episode, guys. As always, Hot Mess Espresso is very proudly sponsored by 502 Media. We have the band Nonsense on today, which is a pop punk band from Orlando, Florida. We have Mike, Nick, and Tony with us today. How are you guys?
Good, how's it going?
Good.
Good. So, Nonsense, where did the band name come from?
Please do.
Yeah. I don't know. I think all of us came up with a whole bunch of names and we just put it
Mhm.
on a notepad and we just went through and tried to figure out like what's the best one. And I felt like all of us was just at that point where like everything was just done and nonsense. So it was just like
Mhm.
that's the name. Let's do it.
Right.
So
It's when you know.
yeah. And then, Sabrina Carpenter came up and she was like, "Hey, my album's called Nonsense." Now everyone's like, "Yo, is that how you guys got your name?" We're like, "Sure. Why not? Let's run it."
I mean,
Why not?
literally, why not? So, you guys have been together for about a year.
Mhm.
That's right.
How did all of you guys form? Have you known each other for a while? Was this just kind of like a Craigslist type deal?
So
So
Mike and
we,
you
yeah,
want to take it? You could take
Now
it,
you,
Nick.
you go, and then you guys can probably
yeah, you go ahead,
help
Tony.
each other out.
Okay. So Mike and myself knew each other from his other band. And then whenever I was kind of figuring out see if I could do my own thing,
Mhm.
I met this guy, our old drummer Wade. He was a drummer, and he was just like making these like cover video things for a little bit by himself, and then he was like, "Yeah, I don't really know if I want to start my own band yet, but I kind of want to do the cover things because it's like popping up on YouTube." And I'm like, "All right, cool. Well, just like keep me posted." So in the meantime, I'm still like handling the rest of the shows that I said yes to with Mike's old band, and I think it was like going on for like 6 months at that point, and after a while, we are just like, hey, let's figure this out. Let's see who we can get to do this actual project and go from there. And then I asked Mike on the last show, or I think it was like maybe 3 shows before the last one, if he wanted to be a vocalist for this project. Just to give him another outlet, because as a musician, you kind of want to do different things all the time. So we were
Mhm.
like, hey, let's see what happens, what we come up with. Because we didn't even know if we were going to be a pop punk band. We didn't know if we were going to be an actual band or just a band that just releases singles. Um, we thought maybe we'd play a show here and there, but that was it. And then
Mhm.
once we all got together, Wade and Nick started doing stuff together, and then that's how Nick came into the picture. And then we just showed up in a shed, and then started writing, having fun.
You
So
can
how
elaborate
did
on the shed. Sorry.
Yeah, no, elaborate on the shed. I'm actually kind of curious.
Oh, so I had for a few years I'd been doing just random gigs and tribute bands and stuff, and a lot of like old classic rock stuff. Like nothing that I
Mhm.
really listened to a lot, but it was just easy to access in the music scene because people always need guitarists for that stuff. And then I met Wade through going to shows in the punk scene and going to those type of shows. Actually, I met him at a Keep Flying show in like 2023, I think, and we hit it off really well. We had a mutual friend, and then we started a little side project doing like singles for TikTok videos and stuff, just easy things. And then eventually I was like, hey, we're gonna need a space to practice. And I didn't have anywhere necessarily, but I did have a space on my property, and I was like, I'm gonna build a practice area. And I just basically made like a mini tiny house shed type thing, 10 by 12, just over 200 square feet. And it honestly is perfect for what we needed. It's not bad. So it kind of worked out. But then I'd met these guys, through the story that Tony just told. And Mike lives actually right down the road from me, which we had no idea. So that worked out perfectly. And we ended up meeting over there. And yeah, it kind of just clicked. So that was the story of the shed. I didn't have any necessarily a band in mind per se when I built it, but I knew one day I was going to have a band for it. So if you build it, they will come.
Exactly. Well, and it helps that you guys are in Florida where like you can have a shed year round,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
Prob-
With
Probably
air
gets a little
conditioning.
dicey in hurricane season, but
Yeah. Yeah, you're not lying. You're not lying. It's anchored to the ground very well, but it's Florida.
Yeah, yeah. So, kind of going off of what Tony had talked about, what made you guys like kind of walk me through? You didn't know really what you were going to do, if it was going to be covers, if it was going to be this, if it was going to be pop punk. Like, how did you guys settle into this is what we're doing, this is the direction we're going in?
I think we just got in the shed and we just made some noise, and what came out of it is what came out of it. And yeah, like Tony came out with some ideas, and then I was able to we just built off those ideas and built them out, and it came pretty organically too. Like we would start working on something, and we were able to finish it, and what came out of it, like it's still pop punk, but there's a little bit of everything in there. We're getting like kind of weird with it in a way, like, and you'll hear that on like the newer songs too. But like, yeah, we just got together and made some noise.
It was very lucky that we all had probably been listening to the bands we're listening to at the time too, and we kind of all had the same idea without knowing what it was. But when we played the instruments together, it kind of worked. And I know Tony had a bunch of great ideas that he brought to the table that he had come up with. So it all kind of clicked up pretty well, you know?
Yeah, for sure. So, speaking of the bands that you were listening to at the time, what had been some musical influences for you guys individually, but also as the band?
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
I know, especially with our sound, as soon as we started recording, the first thing I thought of was like the late 90s kind of post-hardcore pop punk. I guess you could say
Mm,
like Newfound Glory.
yes.
But even I was listening to a lot of Thursday at the time, so even before Newfound, like early 90s stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, so like I think that's where I was coming from. Plus, I'm a big fan of 4 Year Strong, so I like riffy stuff, and a
Hmm.
lot of the riffs that Tony writes is very riffy, and I like playing those too. So that clicked very well. But I know Mike had his on too that are similar.
Yeah, I mean, Newfound's been my favorite band since I was 12. So like, there's always a Newfound Glory influence. Anything Vinny Caruana does, I'm a fan of like the movie Life and I'm the Avalanche. We're all big Blink fans, and I think at that time we'd been listening. I mean, Hit the Lights has always been an influence on me, and Hit the Lights is pretty riffy too, like 4 Year is, and
Yeah,
like it was a lot of like those pop punk influences, but then there's also like hardcore influences. I like a band called Be Well, and I was listening to that a lot at that time. But also just like some of the newer pop punk stuff like Bearings, and then May They Rest Easy. But Every Time I Die, like there's definitely some influence of that in there.
What about
Yeah,
you, Tony?
pretty much the same. I didn't really. I mean, I like some pop punk bands when I was younger, but I was more of
Hmm.
like the hardcore metalcore stuff. So that's kind of where my guitar influence come from, just like the heavy riffs, like Metallica riffs. I grew up listening to Metallica, so
Hmm.
um, the whole downbeat thing was my thing. And then once I started listening to like pop punk, I was like, oh, Newfound, they're doing this weird thing. It's like an upbeat, but with like the heavy riffs, which is kind of rad. And I didn't know you could put them together. So once I was a kid, I was like, yo, we could do this. Like I could do this. But honestly, like at the time, I don't know why, but I was like on a trapped under ice thing, and I still am. I was jamming that
Hell yeah.
record over and over and over, like the whole discography. But um, that 4 Year Strong, Newfound. I mean, there's tons of different bands that I was listening to. So
Yeah. Pop punk was like a big thing we kind of discussed it very slightly, like off camera. We're all kind of the same age. So like pop punk was kind of a thing with us growing up. Cause I was like, they
right.
had to have been like a little bit older because you don't like my younger brother. He's like, who? And I'm like, oh my God. But
Yeah, they
I
don't get
actually
it.
just saw State Champs live and I hadn't
Hell
seen
yeah.
them live before. And I was like, oh, so good.
I love State Champs. I actually saw State Champs and 4 Year open up for Boys Like Girls. That was the first time I saw either of them, and
I have
that
yet
was
to
a
see
really
them live.
crazy show.
Oh, I
That was
bet.
crazy. It was kind of
I've
messed
yet.
up though because the promoter had, obviously Boys Like Girls to the headliner. So there was a lot of, younger girls there to see this band that was headlining, but they didn't realize what was coming into the crowd for 4 Year. And I watched a lot of people get very confused and then thrown out of the way and then try to regain their position in the crowd later on in the show. So that was my first experience at a 4 Year show and I had a great time. So that's another reason I wanted to do this.
10 out of 10.
Yeah,
10 out
no,
of
a
10.
thousand
Dude,
percent.
back in the day, 4 Year Strong and like Set Your Goals shows were so lit.
Oh
Those were
yeah.
some of my
yeah,
favorite shows to go to. And
Yeah.
Set Your Goals just played a show again, so
Yeah,
huge
they're back
fans.
together. That's amazing.
it's like
Yeah.
Nick. It's like that one. I think was it Drain that played with
I just saw them.
It was
They're
what
great.
it was
They're
like
so
Drain.
good.
They opened, and then who was it? It wasn't Story
It
So
was
Far, was
Bearings,
it?
Drain,
Was it Neck
Neck
Deep?
Deep, the Neck Deep show. Yeah, Neck Deep
Yeah. So it's
at
like
That's
House of
all
Blues.
of us like hardcore kids were like in the pit, like tearing everything up, and then like pop punk kids were like, "Yo, this is like too much. Like, don't hit me."
Our buddy Wade lost his shoe. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's a good show.
Yeah.
When
Yep.
you can't find something at the end of the night. No, because
Yep.
like when I saw State Champs, it's I think it's still going, but it's the Maximum Fun tour with like A Day to Remember and Yellow
Oh, yeah.
Card.
Yeah.
And then Boundaries opens up for them, and you could literally see everyone go, "What the hell?" Because it's like, you
Why?
know, like A Day to Remember's like, you know, hardcore, but like they're not as metal and like hardcore as like they used to be.
Right.
Right.
And then you get Boundaries opening up, which is like freaking deathcore, and people are like,
Yeah.
I'm here for. But then when I saw Drain, it was with Guilt Trip, Gideon, and Kubla Khan.
That's crazy.
Oh, so yeah,
That's a sick
That's
lineup.
sick.
that's
Oh
perfect.
my god, it was such a good show, but it's just hilarious because you get all like Guilt Trip's heavy, like Gideon's heavy, and I mean Drain is heavy, but you get this guy coming out in like bright Kelly green like hoochie daddy shorts and a white t-shirt in direct support for Kubla Khan.
Yeah.
And people are like, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
It was
funny.
great. But they
That's
were
funny.
so good. So
Yeah.
good.
Dream's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of them before the show, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna go in blind and
Oh,
like get the
yeah. That's
experience.
even. Yep. That's even better. You know, when you've never heard of a band and your first time is seeing them live in front of you, that's the best.
It really is. I was like, you know, I could like learn the entire set list, and then I'm like, no, I just want to like experience them to see if I'm gonna like them. You
Yep.
know, so that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
That's
But
true.
to get back on track,
No, I love this.
I could talk music literally all day. But you guys have 2 singles out, and your second one just dropped a few weeks ago. Anxiety, which seems pretty deep lyrically. Mike, I know you had a big hand in the lyrics of that. Can you kind of walk me through the writing process for that one?
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of I don't even think I really wrote as many lyrics down for that. Like, I had to write them in my phone after to remember them. But like, Tony had been sitting on that riff for a minute, and like when
Mm-hmm.
I kind of just like felt it out, and what came naturally, and like it was kind of speaking to like some things I was going through at the time, and like it definitely like pushing through anxiety, pushing through depression, things like that. Like it was cool to get it out in a song like that that hits on a lot of different levels, and like it's kind of to sum it up. It's like it was like we didn't come this far to just come this far. Like we're moving forward. Like measuring that forward progress of, like between your good days and not so good days and those awesome days. Like really being able to like hold on to the good stuff, and like being able to get in a room with your friends and just make some noise and just like rock the heck out it was sick. It like I think it really it embodied like the push and pull of anxiety, and like not even just lyrically, musically. It's one of my favorites to play.
Yeah.
It goes by too quick.
Yeah.
Should have made it twice as long.
That's the best songs always like end too quickly.
Yep.
You're just
Yep.
like, oh,
That's
it's
true.
over.
It
Okay.
leaves you wanting more. You can't. You can't give them too much. You don't overstay your presence.
Yeah, you got to give them a nice little appetizer for the main course.
Yep. That's the
What
EP.
What was it like dropping your guys' first single, Stay With Me? Was it like when you finally hit publish, was it like, holy shit, we're doing this?
Yeah, like we had been trying to get that out for a little bit, but it was like the dude that's been mixing it has been like he's been killing it, but he's also a really busy dude. So
Mhm.
like right now he's on tour in like the UK doing sound
Yeah.
for beach weather.
He's
But
actually in
like
France right now.
he's in France right now. So yeah. So like you gotta get in where you fit in. So like getting
Yep.
that out finally, and like it was worth the wait, because like yeah, you might want it to come out sooner, but like it wouldn't have been what it was. And I felt
Mhm.
like we really we really hit it. Like we got the mix in, and I think Tony hit like upload like that
Yeah.
like an hour or two later, not even. It was just really exciting to finally get a song. It was really special, and we're excited to be hopefully putting another single out the next few weeks here.
Yeah. So what can you tell us about the single that is coming up?
I feel like I've been talking too much. Let's let Nick take.
So the single that we have coming out I would say I don't want to give away too much because I know we
Right.
haven't announced the thing yet. But I can tell you that I know a lot of the album does deal with lyrics involving mental health,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that the next single is going to be a really good follow up to Anxiety. It's not called like Stress or Sadness or anything. It's just a good follow up in the fashion of what would be next in that conversation. I think,
Mm-hmm.
just as Mike was saying, there's a push and pull of anxiety, but there's also like you have to overcome things in life,
Mhm.
and I think that's kind of a good subject the next single would be about. And the next single is also one of my favorites too. So I don't know, it's very fitting for the other two, I'd say.
Drop the name.
Oh yeah,
I know.
okay.
I was
So
waiting for Nick
if I have
to say the
permission,
name.
all right, so
This
if I
won't
have
come out for
permission,
a few weeks, so
yeah, so it's called Alaskan Bullworm.
I
Speaking
love
of us
that.
being like older, SpongeBob,
Yeah,
it's a deep cut on
Yeah.
for a SpongeBob quote.
yeah.
But it is he's right. It is a really good follow up to Anxiety, like because I mean I wrote that based on like I've been putting my perspective on things more in these lyrics, and which has been really a lot of fun, and I'm excited to keep doing it. But this song is kind of like my perspective on like the scope of like how like what's everything that's been going on in the world and everything. It doesn't hit anything like on the nose. Like
Mhm.
it's we always wanted it to be open to interpretation.
Right.
But it's a good follow up to Anxiety with it, and I think people are gonna fuck with it.
It definitely gives me like anthem vibes, like a
Yeah,
anthem pop punk.
Yeah, it has more anthem
You know what I
vibes
mean?
for sure. Yeah, yeah. It's a big song. I think "Stay with Me" had a big chorus. They all have big choruses, but "Stay with
Stay
Me"
with
had
Me
this
was
big
excellent.
chorus.
thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
We
Thank
appreciate
you.
that. The band also let me live out my graphic designing dream with that, and they let me do all the promotion online and stuff, and the videos and stuff. So I got to learn a lot through releasing that song. So that meant a lot to me too. That was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So who kind of like handles more of the lyrics, or is that always kind of a group project?
Oh, that's Mike. That's all
Yeah,
Mike.
it's usually it's I handle majority of the lyrics, but I mean I always like if like Nick got a line in the chorus of
Oh
Alaskan
yeah,
Bullfrog.
I wrote the back half of Alaskan Bullworms chorus. Yeah,
Yeah, like the back half of it when we were like I was stuck. I was like I had something, but like yeah, like I always tap people like I because I wanted to be inclusive if we're all performing the songs.
Right.
So
that's fun.
like I put my perspective on like and like everyday things. Like Stay With Me is about my wife, and it's I think it's cool. I love pop punk love songs. I think Newfound Glory's got some of the best of them, and
Mm-hmm.
like it's always got to be real for me. It's because like I don't want to fabricate anything. I want it to be something I went through or a friend or bandmate goes through, and that way it's real to all of us. And you know when you're performing it, it's genuine, and like you can really feel it out better.
Yeah. Do you guys feel like writing as a whole, not even just the lyrics, but like the riffs, the drum, all of that? Do you feel like that's really cathartic to kind of channel whatever's going on with everyone?
I
Oh
would
yeah.
say so. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And it's also cool seeing what it becomes, months later when you've crafted it and then you have it as an actual physical thing in front of you. It's cool.
Yeah,
Like
for
Tony with the
sure.
anxiety riff was like that was definitely like him expressing himself and that, and I think it's cool that we
Yeah.
can do that as a band.
Yeah, I don't think people realize it's not just the lyrics that people express. It's how Tony writes, he's expressing himself that way. Like, it's more than just the words on paper.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, it's
So
true.
what is the feedback been for you guys?
It's been a lot more than we thought for a band who only had like I think 200 followers when we released our first single. Like
Hmm.
we didn't
Hmm.
have a lot of followers. We had, and then we saw a lot of inflow from that. I think we got scared, I think, because we saw an incredible influx of listeners the first week. And
Hmm.
I remember Tony messaged us, he's like, yo,
Like I thought we were
who
getting botted for a
who
second. I
paid
was
for
like, "There's no way."
because as soon as I find out you're out of the band, we're like, dude,
Yeah. I was
nobody.
like,
He's like, there's no
no
way we
one.
have these. So that was funny. But
That's how hard we were on ourselves. We're like,
yeah.
this isn't real. Get this.
Like we don't have these thousands of listeners. There's no way someone paid for this. But no, it was pretty cool. And then it definitely was organic because we did see some growth on our social media too. So that was cool. And it settled our nerves a little bit too. So
Hmm.
Yeah. Do you guys like how do you kind of keep the momentum up, especially when, it goes from 0 to 60 and it's like is there more pressure that you have to release like just as good of a next single, or you have to work double hard to like keep that? Like, how do you guys juggle all of that?
I mean, for me, I wouldn't really say, at least on my side, I don't think there's pressure on like the music stuff. It's just more
Mhm.
of releasing it within a certain amount of time. Because
Yeah.
I mean, just from the analytics stuff, like I've noticed, like since we're kind of late on releasing our next single, like some of the like Stay With Me stuff kind of dipped a little bit on the views and
Mhm.
listens, but it's like that is where I'm like, oh, we have to like hurry up and get this stuff out. Like we need our
Mhm.
EP out before people forget about us, kind of thing. But now, since we're doing the more TikTok videos and stuff like that, like pushing that, it is helping, and I see it. And I know like Mike and I we're old heads. We're like, we don't need to do that. Let's not do that. Like, let's just play
Yep.
shows, and like if they mess with us and they like us, right? But no, it's just like, okay, this is actually working. That we actually have to do it. So let's do it. Have fun with it. So I think that's like the hardest part. I would say is just like keeping the videos going, keeping that momentum up. But the
Mhm.
music itself, like get pushed out, like I don't think, or like being better than the next single, I don't think that's a thing for us. I mean, at least that's what I thought, anyways.
Mhm.
As far as, I mean, pressure for getting them out and like, things like that nature, when you're recording and going through that process, there's also so many variables. You're dealing with other people as well. Like when you finish a track finally and you get it perfect way, the way you want it, you then got to ship it out and wait for it to go through the next process, whether it's mixing or mastering. So there's a lot of other variables that add to that pressure and also kind of get in your head like, man, I gotta win this person, then I can get back and see if I like it. And so that plays a role too, I think, for every musical artist.
Yeah,
Yeah. What
definitely.
about you, Mike?
I definitely don't think there's pressure. I'm just excited to get the next thing out because I think it's special to be able to still play original music in my mid 30s. So like
Mhm.
everything's yeah, everything's awesome. Like it's a special thing to be able to do, and I'm thankful. So I look forward to the next one, and I guess I'll learn how to dance for TikTok. It's nice to be able to like we have like our bassist that can be like, all right, this is what we're gonna do for the video, or if Nick or
Yeah.
Tony have an idea and like
Yeah.
they can just tell me, hey, do this, and yeah, that way I don't have to put that much thought into it.
It seems daunting being in your 30s, being like, oh, I got to go shoot real videos. But I'm not going to
Hard.
lie.
Mhm.
With the group of guys that we have, it becomes such a good time. You don't even realize that you're trying to get stuff done that's like work for you. It's not. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of good ideas, I think, too. So
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
and then when you have the reward, it's perfect.
It definitely probably helps that you have a couple of like younger band members that also are like very into like the whole TikTok thing and like the trends and can kind of yeah.
Yeah, they help so much. I'm so thankful for Sam and Johnny too.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. But I'm with Tony. Watching those analytics, man, can literally drive you absolutely bonkers because you're like, oh god, it dipped. What do I have? What do
Yep.
I have to do? What do I have to do? Like, and it just kind of, it doesn't like keep you up at night, but you sit there and you're like, okay, is this going to be like a quick little bounce or is this going to be a like steady decline?
Yeah, I mean, even like going from like your Spotify analytics to like Apple is
Mhm.
like a huge difference because the
So
majority,
huge.
yeah, like the majority listens on Spotify, where I'm like, I listen on Apple, so what are you guys
Mhm.
doing? But then it's just like, why are we not doing as well on Apple than in Spotify? It's just like I can't figure it out. Like, what do we have to do? But
The algorithm is
yeah,
literally like you're always 5 minutes behind. I
Yep.
swear. Um, Favorite local venues. What are some of your guys' absolute favorite to play that you 10 out of 10 will absolutely come back to play?
Bulls Pub.
Will's Pub. That's the home mecca right there. That's Orlando's best venue in
yeah.
my opinion. Although I will say that saying I have not been to a couple other venues that we are hopefully going to be playing soon. There's a couple new venues out here, but yeah, Will's is just a staple down here.
That's the cool
Yeah.
thing with Florida. Like we have so many great like local venues. Like I'm over on the Tampa side, so I have like Crowbar, I have Janice Live. Like to me, those are still local venues, but like crazy big bands play there. But it's just like it's crazy. It's wild.
Yeah, the
Ritz
and
Ybor.
Ybor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, Reds and Ebor. That's another one.
We just played
Yeah.
Weston last night in Sanford, and that's a really cool spot. That was the second time we played there, and it's you kind of get some of the Will's vibes with like the artwork there. It's a cool spot.
Yeah, they're cool.
So what do your sets kind of look like, especially because like technically you've only got like a couple songs out. So how do you kind of fill in that set time?
You want to take that, Tony?
Yeah, I mean, we have like our full EP done. Like everything's like done.
Oh,
It's
that's even
not,
better.
yeah, it's just not out. So I
Yeah.
think our like set time, I think is like 20, 25 minutes. But I
Mhm.
mean, we could play faster and make it like 10 minutes if we wanted to, which we've done that before in Tampa. But yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Sam wasn't too
Yeah.
happy with that one.
Yeah, no, I mean, and like
We
I
got
said,
through it.
the entire EP was done before our first show, so
Yeah.
that's what we went off that.
But we're working on. We definitely been sitting on a lot of new ideas and like riffs and stuff. And now that the EP, like the recording process is wrapping up, we're gonna start jumping into working on some new jams, just staying steady with it.
So, when it does come to local, are there any local bands that you guys really enjoy playing with, like really enjoy being around? Because I know, especially like up here in Western New York, like the local bands are very like fundamental to, XYZ.
Yeah, there's a ton of good local bands, and there's something for everybody. Like, I know I'm always gonna say Overthinker because I really like that band and their songs are amazing. If you haven't listened to them yet, they're definitely something special. And I mean, Hungover is great. Lake Father, Brave Weather, These Times. I could go on and on, man. Bay Street. We just played with these kids last night.
Return to Sender.
Return to Sender.
They were great.
Yeah.
They were ridiculous. They reminded me of like early 2000. Like the singer was like giving me like Glassjaw vibes, and it was, and like this kid was like probably 21,
Yeah.
and
And they did the cover of Sorry You're Not a Winner too from Enter Shikari, which is kind of cool.
yeah, like there's so many good local like I know Tony. I know he has like plenty of picks too, but
Yeah, I mean a lot of our homies, right? You have our friends Burned Out, Kevin and Red and all them. We love those guys. And I think now Red is in Scattershot, which is like a hardcore Florida band. And they're coming back, which is cool. I mean there's tons of different local bands that we're always open to play with. So
Robots Prevail, Sad Academy. Yeah, there's something for everybody.
Yeah, I didn't realize how like big the scene down in like Orlando and the surrounding area was. I knew it was decently big. I just did not realize how big it was.
It's a good problem to have when you're like,
Yeah.
crap,
Yeah.
if we put on a show, who do you want to play with us? Because there's so many good bands around here.
Yeah, we thought it'd make doing the house shows easy, but it doesn't because, like Mike had mentioned, and earlier, there's too many bands to pick from. I mean, you like them all. You're like, okay, well, I'd love to have all you guys, but we only have like 4 hours, so we can't play all day. Sorry.
I'm gonna feel bad because I'm sure I have. There's a few that I didn't mention. I'm like, damn, it's gonna bug me, man. Like, there's so many good bands here.
It sounds it. It absolutely sounds it. Which, speaking of house shows, are you guys talking about literally somebody's basement house shows?
it was their living room, but yeah.
It was our
Oh my
drummer's
God,
living
that's
room.
the best.
Yeah, yeah, it worked out great.
They have those in New England a lot. I've got a few like buddies that are out there that have played and literally they're in somebody's basement.
Mhm.
And I'm
Yep.
like, I feel like that's how you know that like they're really into the scene is they're
Yeah.
in somebody's living room, basement, front porch. Apparently
They
All
just
American
give us
Rejects are
somewhere.
doing everyone's backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can pull a crowd in a house like that, you must know someone in the scene. That's for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Speaking of different bands and lineups and stuff like that, each of you may have the same lineup, you may not, but dream like lineup that you're on.
How many bands?
Yeah, what's the
We'll
limit
give it
here?
4 to 5 because that's like the typical
Okay.
like with a local opener because that's how it is here. We always have a local opener and then
So are they still a band, or can we pick like bands that are no longer a band?
Is this a
That's gonna make
fantasy?
it harder.
Is it
That's what I'm
fantasy?
saying.
I know it's like that adds like a bunch. You know what? Let's go with if they ever were.
Okay.
Each.
I know I just gave you guys a really hard question.
Somebody else go first.
All right. Any bands at all? All right. So,
Any bands?
I think it would be really cool to open up for this isn't in no order. I don't know who's headlining, by the way.
Yeah,
It'd
no.
be very cool to open up for Newfound Glory. But also there's this band. This is gonna be out of the blue. This is a band that Tony put me on to called Have Heart, and I listen to them all the time.
Oh
And I
my
think that
God.
would be sick. I think they'd be great.
I
On
just got
that
onto
tour.
them like a month and a half ago, and
Yeah,
holy shit,
Yeah, they're good.
they're
I
so
like how
good.
the lead singer is like an English teacher, you know, or a history teacher. It's cool. Their band's really interesting. All right,
Is that
I'm sorry. It's your turn. You have to decide now. You have to.
Newfound Glory is definitely my like that's the dream. I'm gonna say Nirvana just because I want to watch them. I would just want to see them.
Yeah.
And sheesh, you know what? Set your goals in movie life. That way, it's 5 band lineup. There you go. I'm happy with that.
perfect?
He had to squeeze them in there. They'll play
And
for free.
I gotta think. I mean,
You
Metallica would
broke
be
them.
one.
You broke them for this.
Metallica
I
would
would,
be ridiculous.
yeah, that Metallica, right? Then I would say this is gonna be crazy. I would say Boxcar Racer, Title Fight. That would be massive,
I think that would heal the world.
man. I'm gonna throw a weird one just because I respect the hell out of those guys. Norma Jean.
Oh,
The Almighty.
the Almighty.
Where am I at? 4 right now? 4. I'll do one.
I
I'll do
think.
one more, and then Chariot. You gotta
Yeah.
the Chariot. I mean,
All
come
right,
on.
hold on. I'll give two. Let me throw in the Wonder Years also. I'm gonna put in the Wonder Years for mine because I'll give y'all two, and I'm okay with that. Nonsense Wonder Years, Have Heart, and Newfound Glory.
I
Yeah,
think these are good lineups, man.
I think we yeah. I
they
think we
are. But because I have heard of like half of these bands, how many of them are no longer in circulation?
all the ones I named are still playing. I'm
Well,
going to
I
see
know.
one tomorrow.
I've
We all
heard of
are.
every single one.
Obviously, Nirvana isn't.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Yeah.
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 I think out of mine, only 2, right? Title Fight
Yeah,
and
Metallica is
Chariot.
still playing.
The Chariot.
Oh, Chariot. That's
Yeah.
Long
right.
wait.
Huh? Yeah. Yeah.
We are
Not
seeing
bad.
Newfound Glory at Epcot tomorrow, so we're all excited about that.
Yeah. That's gonna be really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about to ask like what was going on with your guys' show tomorrow that you're playing.
No, actually, the show tonight is
Oh, it is tonight.
Yeah, well, yeah. The show tonight that Johnny and Sam are on their way to now that they had to play with their band.
Yeah. They do
So
the cover
and
stuff.
they're in. Are they going to Jacksonville or are they going down south? They're going somewhere. But yeah. So
In
that was
Florida.
yeah. So there was a bunch of date issues moving around with that. But
Yeah.
yeah. So
'Tis the life.
yeah.
So, do we have a release date for the EP, and do we have a title for it that we can talk about?
It's definitely coming out this year. It's called Far From Home, and the artwork is up on our Instagram. It looks really rad. Jamer's designed it. So
Yeah. It's how are you guys like anxious, excited, just ready for it to be out?
I'm ready for it to be out
Same.
so we can move on to the next stuff. To be honest, because the next stuff is like, to me, I think it's 10 times cooler. But
Yeah.
that's how it usually works, you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you get your first one out and then you're like, okay, we learned what to do, what not to do. Okay, now we move on to the next one. So do we as obviously the next project is in the works, but are do you guys have songs already written for it? Is it just kind of in the building process? Where are we at with that?
So the new stuff is still like in the building process.
Mhm.
We still, so on the EP, obviously we had a different bass player and a different drummer. So we're trying to give that EP its run with those people, so they kind of like, hey, I did
Yeah.
this, I did that. And then this stuff, since we have our new drummer Sam and our new bassist Johnny, it's like, hey, let's actually get together, start writing, so you guys could actually have something and have your footprint, on nonsense.
Yeah.
And be a part of this instead of just playing someone else's part. So that's
Right.
kind of why we're trying to, all right, let's hurry up, let's get these out. So let's start the new stuff.
Yeah. That makes sense. That I didn't realize it was such like a one part, two part. So that definitely is quite the transition you guys are in, and trying to give credit to each set. That's got to be a lot of parts you're juggling
Yeah.
at the moment.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, whenever that whole thing happened, our drummer moved, and I think we booked like a weekend run, and then we
Mhm.
got hit with, hey, I have to move.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, and it's like, okay, well, what are we gonna do? And then
Right.
it's like, can we make it work if he lives in a different state? Like, how is this gonna be feasible? Like, but
Mhm.
it just wasn't gonna happen. And then Nick met, I think, you met him or saw him on Facebook or something like that.
Sam reached out, I think.
Well, we'd done a post on April 1st, and Sam reached out, and he was kind of iffy because he didn't know if it was real. He thought it was an April Fool's joke because we had posted we just posted live photos of us, and they were really good live photos. We have an amazing buddy who's a photographer, for us, Gabe. He's actually on tour with POD right now,
Yeah.
and he does phenomenal work. So we posted those. He's like, "Man, this looks awesome. Like, is this legit?" And I ended up calling him and talking to him, and he sent us some videos. And he was one of the only people that could actually play the songs in the videos. And we had like 2 or 3, I think, that sent in. So it was perfect. And we met up with him, and he was willing to go out with us in a couple weeks to go on tour. So it was
People you
that
never
too.
met.
Yeah, yeah, and we all clicked. So
Stars aligned.
yeah.
Mhm.
And it was crazy because I think we all talk. I mean, like Mike and myself and our old bassist Kevin. I think we probably had maybe 30 minutes of talking with him, and we're like, hey, all right, well next week I'll see you, and you're gonna hop in a van with us,
Yeah.
and we're just gonna go to North Carolina.
Yeah, Sam was great.
Which is insane, but it was fun.
Yeah. How is that being in a van, driving around?
That one wasn't bad.
We were lucky.
It wasn't bad. Yeah.
There was AC, and
Yeah.
it was pretty big. It was
Holy
a
shit.
big transit van. We're lucky that
Yeah.
our bass player allowed us to tour in that.
Yeah,
I feel like Nick learned a lot.
Yeah.
On
It was
his
it
first
was my
actual
first tour. We went to the East Coast. We did North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina.
It was. I
Mhm.
felt so bad for you because we didn't get to stop at Bucky's yet, and he didn't have a blanket or a pillow.
That's my fault. I forgot it. I'm terrible at packing.
And that AC was like crispy. Like
It was
it was good AC. But yeah, it's rough when you're
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of hunkered down.
I think I slept at like 2 or 3 truck stop parks at the bench under the pavilion. Yeah, that warmer out there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people they think that touring is this like big glamorous thing, and like it's a lot of fun, but it is the furthest thing from glamorous.
Yeah, yeah. It's not glamorous at all.
And it's nothing cool about like brushing your teeth at a truck stop or
Yeah, one morning Tony and I found a massage chair at a truck stop, and that thing was the best thing ever because
Yeah.
my back was like, dude, you keep sleeping on this bench. It's just not going to work out for us.
We helped some dogs at was it this? I think it was a different truck stop, but like we found like
No, that was the
Same
same one.
one?
That was the
Same one.
Yeah.
yeah, we helped some dogs. We got them some food. If they had gotten in the van with us, they would have probably came back home with us. But
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I've friends with enough like musicians that it's like a big deal when you can get out of the big converter van and actually rent an RV for a tour. Like
Oh,
that is top class luxury.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And I'm like, yeah, I've heard some stories about like touring around Europe and everyone's in a van, the AC broke, like, they're like it's gross. Like, yeah, that sounds like no.
yeah, yeah. We have a lot of followers we've noticed in Brazil, obviously because of Johnny and Sam. So
Mhm.
hopefully they have nice fans down there with AC.
Becky to come to
Yeah.
Brazil posts on our page.
Yeah, yeah.
That would be fun. South American tour. That'd be
I
fun.
That'd be
love it.
amazing. That'd
Yeah.
be really cool. Argentina.
Oh, yeah. No, you guys will 1,000% get there. But yeah, thank you guys so much for taking the time out and chit-chatting with me. And I'm so excited for where you guys are headed. I'm so excited for this EP to come out. I'm so excited for what's next. Like, I can't wait to see it.
Thank you very
appreciate
much.
Thanks for
And
having
we
us.
appreciate you having us on. Thank you so much. By the way, I want to
course.
say for the record of the episode, you reached out to us so early on. As soon as we released that single, you were like, hey, this is awesome. I went on a spree of sending it to like 100 people, and Instagram got mad at me because they thought I was a bot. I was like, hey, I'm not a bot. I just want organic fans.
Mhm.
And so you can't go door to door and necessarily find pop punk fans, be like, hey, listen to my single. So next best thing,
Thank you for giving us your time. For
Yeah,
sure.
no,
We appreciate
I'm
you.
glad you guys reached out because I genuinely enjoyed the single, and I was like, hey, fuck it. Like, do they want to come on and chit chat? Because, that's just where we're at in life.
That's awesome. We appreciate it.
real. Thank you so much for having us. This